Tonight, a baby's mysterious death is the subject of a 2 News investigation. Was there a danger inside her Greene County home that was killing her? Her family reached out to Pam Elliott for answers.
Well, Natalie, unfortunately, we will likely never know how Bailey Blanton got so sick so quickly. About 18% of the houses in Greene County have some type of on-lot sewage treatment system. The health district inspects the systems, but it is the job of the property owner to make sure sewage is draining properly. On April 4th, 2012, Bailey Blanton was born a healthy baby. But 2 months after birth, she started having seizures. 3 separate times her family took her to Dayton Children's Hospital. Mike Cummins was Bailey's grandfather.
And they did get her to the point where the seizure stopped. And then we brought her home, and within 3 days, the poor child was...
And then we never left.
Bailey and her mother were living in the basement of her grandparents' home in Fairborn. Mike and Maureen Cummins were in the process of purchasing the home. They signed an agreement with the owner, or vendor, in April 2010. Going in, the couple knew there were problems with the septic system. In fact, their agreement states, vendor hereby agrees to be responsible for repairs required to the septic and drainage of the septic system as required by the local health department. What the Cummins didn't know is how bad it would get.
It was terrible. I mean, the odor was so bad.
They say they used fans to try to ventilate the house.
And Michael kept going to him and saying, we need something done here. We're smelling this stink.
2 News investigates look through the Greene County Combined Health District's records for the Fairborn address. Inspectors made notes based on what they saw outside the home, not inside. They documented standing sewage water on the ground. Melissa Howell is the health commissioner.
And if you suspect at all that your system's not working properly, call the health district, call the installer so that they can come out and inspect it. It's really not something that a homeowner is necessarily educated to do on their own.
There were 14 inspections between March 2010 and the end of last year. None in 2012 when Bailey was alive. The family told me there was little time that year to work with the health district since they were spending so much time at the hospital. They did, however, take pictures of what appeared to be sewage seeping into the basement. Is it possible your inspector missed something?
Our inspectors are pretty well trained. We have some of the best inspectors in the state here in Greene County, and I don't think anyone would dispute that. So I wouldn't think so, no.
Bailey's 3rd trip to Dayton Children's was her last. The family shared with 2 News investigates some of her medical records. They reference more than 20 seizures a day and delayed developmental milestones. The hospital also acknowledges an error, a methadone overdose. However, what's most troubling to the family is the information they didn't learn until the day before Bailey died.
All they said to us is we don't know what is going on with Bailey. She even has fecal bacteria in her system.
Gram-positive cocci on the medical records. Not until they heard about the fecal bacteria did the Cummins realize that their home might have been killing their granddaughter. The Virginia Department of Health reports sewer gases will decrease the oxygen concentration in the air, especially in basements. A lack of oxygen can cause seizures and difficulties breathing. Bailey's death certificate lists the cause as respiratory failure, as well as hypoventilation and malignant partial epilepsy of infancy. Her death was deemed natural, therefore there was never an autopsy. 10 months after Bailey's death, a public health inspector did flag the property and determined no one should live there until problems are resolved. The family was already in the process of moving out. And the problems have not been resolved, and the property remains vacant. I called the owner, and he told me he'd already talked with the health department and had no further comment. He then hung up on me. Now, the founder of the International Association of Certified Home Inspectors told me sewer gas deaths are probably being misdiagnosed, and without autopsies, we can't know for sure. There is no formal investigation of Bailey's death, and the hospital says it can't address my questions due to privacy laws, but would be willing to speak with the family further. Dayton Children's statement to us is now on our website. Pam Elliott, 2 News investigates.